Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I wanted to do this video on Fortnite on console. Now this is with a keyboard and it's also with a XIM Apex attachment. Now the reason that I'm using the XIM Apex is because yes, console does support PS4 keyboard and mouse. You can just plug the keyboard and mouse straight in and you can go. And honestly, I feel like the keyboard and mouse plug-in straight in is better than the XIM Apex, because with the keyboard and mouse plug-in, it does seem to be a little more delayed than the XIM is, because the XIM actually emulates a controller. So that means you can see that it says triangle, circle, square, all that stuff, when in reality my keyboard is doing those buttons. Now R is my square, 4 is my triangle, and the way you navigate through the guns is with scroll wheel. The way you build is by hitting the side mouse button for me and then scrolling through each thing, so from the wall to the ceiling to the stairs. So it's really inconvenient, honestly. It's not, in my opinion, I do not think it's worth using, because you have to do so many things. Also, if my build gets turned, rotated, I cannot rotate it back without reaching over and actually changing it manually with the controller, because that is bound to right stick and you can't rebind a right stick to a key on the keyboard. So it's kind of annoying. I don't think it works that well. Here you can see my aim assist is actually pretty insane. I do not think that you get aim assist with the plugging in the keyboard and mouse on console. I don't know if you do, if you plug it straight in, but the XIM is actually made mainly for COD. In COD, I've tried it. It works okay. It's nothing that crazy. The only real advantage you have is that you have more range of motion, so you can spin faster, move faster, you can have your sensitivity a lot higher. And here I'm actually trying to learn how to navigate through the inventory, because it's really weird the way the keys are set up. I have to do everything completely different. If you do plug in a keyboard and mouse, it actually does, let you rebind everything. So I could have my, pick on an actual number like it is on PC. I could have 1, 2, 3, 4, set up for the guns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could have each build bound to a certain key, but when you use a XIM Apex, you actually can't do that, because you have to just use the buttons on a controller and have them bound to a keyboard on the mouse. The only real advantage this gives you is the crazy aim assist, which sometimes gets you killed, because when I lock onto somebody with the aim assist, like it literally locks onto people. But when I do it, it honestly messes me up more than anything, because you can't snap to somebody, because you actually get stuck on them. And if you get stuck on them and it kind of falls behind, so to speak, the aim of the actual mouse gets behind the person, then you're gonna miss like almost every bullet. So the only real advantage this gives is that the shotgun fights are pretty, extremely easy. You saw I locked onto that guy's head right there. The shotgun fights are really good with this kind of aim assist. It is a nutty amount of aim assist, but other than that, it's not really that great of a thing. The sniping on it, as you can see, I snipe here in a little bit in Tilted Towers. The sniping on it isn't the best in the world. It doesn't like lock onto people and just make you insta hit every sniper shot, and I really don't feel like you have much of an advantage at all over the console people, especially with the Apex. With the actual keyboard and mouse plugged into the PS4, I've not tried yet. If you guys want to see me try that, I will try it. I don't know if that's something you want to see. I don't even know if anybody's going to be that interested in this video, but I just wanted to talk about this XIM Apex a little bit and how it actually functions, because they're like 90 bucks. Me and my buddy got one just to try on COD and on here, and honestly they're not worth it, to be honest. It's not all it's cracked up to be. A lot of people seem to think that you buy a XIM and you're instantly a god on console, and you're just like, it's basically like cheating with aim, like some type of aim lock or something, which on Fortnite it does help in certain scenarios, but I feel like the bad outweighs. Like I said, the building is not the greatest in the world either. You have to cycle through each build, so I actually have to manually scroll up twice to get to my stairs, and then scroll back down twice to get to the wall. So you can't do like no crazy 1x1, which I know certain people seem to think you really can't do that crazy of building on console either, but there are actually a lot of people out here that grind console, and they're actually really good at building. And I don't think if you ran into a person that is a crazy builder with a controller and you had a XIM Apex, I don't feel like you would honestly win the gunfight. I feel like they would outbuild you on their controller. It doesn't give that much of an advantage. It's not all it's cracked up to be. I have played with a controller on some console Fortnite. I've not played a ton of console Fortnite. I've only played maybe 10 games in total or something. But I do feel like that I can honestly build better with a controller than with this XIM Apex, just for the matter of the fact that you have to scroll so much through each different build. If you could bind if the XIM let you do like the plug and play, just plug straight into the PS4 does, and you actually could rebind everything, and I could have, you know, my pickaxes 4 and have my, you know, guns on each number and have my build, you know, bound to each different key like I have on PC on the console with the Apex, that would be extremely, extremely OP. Now, a lot of people think you can actually do that, but that's just not the case. So it really doesn't make that big of a difference. It's not all it's cracked up to be, like I said. If I was able to have my keys individually set to different things instead of having to have them, you know, function as a circle, triangle, square, X, if I was able to do that, it would be extremely, extremely OP, and you would absolutely dominate the scene. And they would probably have to, like, I don't know how they could do something about it other than just trying to ban people, but you also can't prove that they're using this, you know, unless you, they actually just come out and say that they are. So if you were able to do that, I feel like that's the only way an Apex would be, you know, viable to actually buy one. But I just wanted to let you guys know that is not the case. You cannot do that. You can't bind everything to what you want to bind it to, like it is when you just plug in the console straight with the keyboard and mouse. So like I said, it's not all that's cracked up to be. You know, if you're thinking about getting a XIM Apex just for the fact of using a keyboard and mouse on console, you're better off using just plugging it straight into your PS4, because the XIM Apex isn't all it's cracked up to be. Hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to let the rest of this gameplay play out. My game actually cut out on recording at about 11 minutes in, or about 12 minutes in. So there is a little bit of a gap. It's like a 3-second gap in the middle of the game. But I do not end up winning this game. I end up getting, I think, 4th place because the guy was camping behind a tree. But I am going to cut out a little bit of the game because it just kind of gets boring right around here. You know, there's not much goes on until I start fighting another kid. So hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.